Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach, and it's gonna be the round 19 review where we had another fantastic week, and it felt so damn good. We scored 1383. The rank for the round, it was still very good, 1872, but there were definitely a lot of big scores again this week. But we have once again shot back up the rankings, 134 places, now just a whisker outside the top 100, 128 overall, and it's looking good. And as you can imagine, we nailed the captaincy once again, and like I said, I felt good. There's not many better feelings than nailing your Supercoach captain in a Friday night. He goes big, and then you can just enjoy the rest of the footy. You can enjoy the rest of the footy, the Supercoach action, and not really have too many concerns. So it was fantastic. But we'll delve into the nitty gritty here. But yeah, we're getting back up the ranks. I thought my team was really good, and I was hoping to gradually claw my way back up after a couple of, the bye week wasn't great, and then the week before that we had a bit of a shocker. But I didn't expect to jump we jumped 100 odd spots last week as well. So yeah, we definitely came shooting back up. But let's go into how the team went overall. So the dummy halves, Harry Grant, 62. I'm pretty happy with the 62. Honestly, he didn't really do anything. I mean, the Storm are just they're really starting to shit me, dude. I mean, I'm still happy I held Grant. Honestly, I think Cook didn't really hurt me. I think he got about the same. Appy Coruscant, I don't think he went that good. So I don't know. The dummy halves are they're very hit or miss this year. So, spending the big money on Cook at the start of the year was probably a mistake. I didn't get him in round one when he was out injured. I waited a few weeks, but that was probably looking back on small mistakes, maybe the Grant pickup was a slight mistake, but I don't know. Who was the other option? Maybe just stay with a cheapie. But yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm just hoping Grant can pull off some big ones. They got the Warriors this week. I know they're still going to struggle, but they should put on some points surely against the Warriors. Come on, McInnes got 53. I kept talking that McInnes was probably the guy we're going to look to trade out, but like I said, the dummy halves, I just don't know if it's worth getting in another gun dummy half for the run home. I'll see how we stand. I've got 5 trades left, which, I am in a pretty decent position to potentially go for some more pottish trades to potentially gain some more ground. But yeah, is a dummy half worth it? I don't know. We'll have to look at that. Joe Tarpany, we brought in last week, 73 points, just fantastic. He did get a line break taken off his score, which was complete bullshit. Oh man, some of the line breaks they don't get awarded and get removed is such nonsense. They'll literally get through the first line of defense, but because the defensive line is somewhat scattered, they don't call it a line break. It's madness. It's actual madness. But still, 73 killed it. I mean, he was so close to scoring a couple of times, but yeah, everyone has Joe Tarpany now, so it was a good pickup last week. Otherwise, again, I just would have, it wouldn't have hurt. It wouldn't have hurt too bad, but it is what it is. Isaiah Papali'i, 73, again, very good. Max King, 62, solid. Pole 28. So Pole, he's starting to turn into a little bit of an AE nightmare. Potentially, I could look at nothing Pole to get a little bit of cash, but yeah, unfortunately, yeah, it's just disappointing. I don't really know why. We'll look at him quickly. I don't really understand why he played such few minutes. he played 42 in his first game, 44, 48 and 48, and then he went down to 37 and then 28. It's crazy. He's one of their best forwards coming through. Actually, I mean, I say I don't know why, but actually there's a pretty good reason for it, and it's the fact that Hastings is now playing 80 minutes a lock, which means Offengawi is in the front row, and Offengawi has been their best forward all year, and he's playing big minutes in the front row, so it's making the rotations a few less, because generally it would have been Offengawi playing big minutes a lock, and then the two front rowers weren't playing huge minutes. So that's the issue. Unfortunately. But yeah, it's something to look at. It's definitely something to look at with Pole. Then we have Olakau'atu, 29. He bit of a shocker. I mean, all the Manly players had shockers, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But yeah, I think it was hampered. I mean, it wasn't great conditions. Manly played bad. And also, he hurt his ankle very early on in the game. I thought he was going to get subbed off, but I think he played the full 80 and just didn't really have too much impact at all. Adam Elliott, 66. This was annoying, dude. He played... I just want to look at the minutes here for a second, because he played... Yeah, he played 53 minutes straight. He got 66 points, and then Ricky Stewart doesn't bring him back into the game. I was losing it. I'm still happy. Like, honestly, Elliott has been like my absolute trump card. He's been killing it, but yeah, very annoying. Ricky Stewart just not putting him back on the field. I mean, I know the Raiders were pretty solid, but they just look so much better when Elliott is on the field. So I don't know why you would play the last 30 minutes without him out there. It just very weird. Ricky Stewart, I don't know what he's doing. Dave Fafita, 69. He got a try, didn't really do too much else, so I mean, I'll take it. It is what it is. Angus Crichton, 82, very solid. Tamalolo, I sat on the pine, which is annoying. It looked like he was in for like a big score, so I was, when he got 75, I was like, okay, it didn't hurt me too badly, but he made that first initial offload for the line break assist. He was looking dangerous. He almost got a try. I mean, can we tell you? I'm not going to go too much into the Cowboys game, but I know everyone is crying deluxe about that the end of game. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I thought it was fucking great. I was very happy when it happened, and I still am. But can we just talk about the Tamalolo should have scored again? Cohen Hess reached out for the try line, right? I mean, no one's talking about this, but Cohen Hess reached out for the try line. I think it was Luke Brooks, used his fucking leg to stop the try. So, first one, that's illegal. You can't use your feet or your leg in a try saving manner like that. So, potentially could have been a penalty try. But regardless, the ball spewed backwards. The ball literally came backwards to Tamalolo, who scored, and they called it a knock on. But we won't hear about that. We won't hear about that one. Ben Trebojevic played. I think he must have got injured. I honestly didn't watch too much of that game. I don't know. I don't really want him to play, because it would be nice to have a couple of nuffs that I can use the loophole for, potentially. Nathan Cleary, 69, Hines, 47. This is the only annoying thing. So it was basically out of Tamalolo and Nico Hines for my fourth reserve, and I just thought Hines was the potential to go big. Tamalolo went 75, but I thought Hines, in the wet weather, he's done it before. Against the Panthers, I was skeptical, but I put it on Hines just in case. It didn't cost me that much. It cost me 20 odd points, but it's not a huge deal either way. Cameron Munster, 62, and Dylan Brown, 62. So I'm not gonna lie, I definitely have thought, because like I said, I've got a couple of luxury trades up my sleeve. I've definitely thought maybe Dylan Brown is potentially a guy I could get rid of, but I don't know. I mean, he's scoring like as well as Munster. So I don't know, but there is a guy that I am half tempted by. Then we go down to the backs where we made some big moves. Ruben Garrick 48, again in a terrible Manly team. He got 48 pretty much all in base, I think, so that's pretty solid. Joey Sawali, 116 points. I mean, I kept hold of him. I thought he's probably a keeper till the end of the year. And I think, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people traded Sawali out. So I think not a pod. Let's actually, what is he owned by nowadays? Yeah, he's only 26% of team. So he must have been like past 50% at one stage, surely. So I think a lot of people traded him out. So I could be, that could be a good one for me for the run home with Sawali going big. Micah Sivo 69. I'm not gonna lie, he got 2 tries and scored 69. Like, he's done a pretty good job for me now. I can't be too disappointed, but I am very tempted that maybe I should get rid of Sivo because the Eels are looking dreadful. Sivo is not really getting involved, and they do have a tough run. So I'm actually pretty tempted to get rid of Sivo for someone else. Taylor May 53, not too shabby. Tedesco, the 152 we had the captaincy on, and Latrell Mitchell, the other trade-in we made, which I feel good about, got 99 points, looked very good again. So the big thing here is that I changed who my captaincy was. I was adamant that I was going to go Nathan Cleary as the captain, and I was pretty much convinced the whole time. But there was one big factor that made me not do it, and that was the fact that I couldn't use the loophole. So what I was going to do before sort of teams got announced and all that, I was going to go Joey Manu or Tedesco as vice captain because, taking on the Knights, they were going to be the best option. Manu got ruled out, so obviously I was going to go Tedesco vice and Cleary captain because, those two guys would be the best. They're the best options for this week. They would have been. But thankfully, I had a closer look at my team and I realized that I would not be able to loop because goddamn Grant Anderson got named. He was named on the bench, I think, but then he got a starting wing spot where he actually got 54 points. So, he'll make a bit of cash. But yeah, Anderson got named. And then Ben Trebojevic was playing. The only player that wasn't playing was Joey Manu. So I obviously couldn't use the loophole if I vice captain Tedesco. So that meant I had to put it on an earlier guy. And honestly, for the best efforts, or for the best chance of getting a decent score, I thought, you know what, Ruben Garrick vice, Tedesco captain. That's honestly the best. The best sort of vice captain captaincy option I think I've got, and it worked out beautifully because I was pretty confident that Tedesco would go big. I thought Cleary would go big as well, but I was probably a little bit more confident that Tedesco would at least get like 80 points against the Knights. So yeah, I ended up going Tedesco and it worked out very, very nicely. I mean, again, I'll keep saying it, even though I've nailed 2 captaincies in a row for massive points, I still hate the way the captaincy works. Literally, all Supercoach comes down to now is who you put the captaincy on, which is not how the game should be played. Like, why is one decision out of 17 other players the main factor in if you have a good week or not? Like, it's just ridiculous. But I know I keep saying it, but I'll keep saying it until they do something about it because the game has changed. The fact that the ceilings now are so high, players going 150 plus, they have to change the captaincy. They have to change it because it's just too big a swing either way. But yeah, that's how we went. Pretty solid. I guess, yeah, Manu didn't play. Task got 38 and Anderson 54. So, yeah, all in all, pretty darn good. So, yeah, what was I going to look at this week? Actually, you know what I was going to look at? So how many points I wanted to look at the 100th place person because we're on 22,182. And then if we go to ranking, so 22,182. I want to go to like 100. Or even like these, so not like 50. What is 50 at? Why is there no 50? I guess they're tied. Okay. So like 50, 22, 356. So we're only like 100 odd points behind like 50th spot. And then if we go down to if it'll load 100th. 100 is like, yeah, we're only like 40 points behind. It's very tight. It's very, very tight. In and amongst here. Actually, we went past ourselves, didn't we? There I am. 22,182. We're tied with Victor the Inflictor. But yeah, it's very tight in amongst the top. And even how far ahead of like the top guys? I mean, this dude's got a pretty decent lead now. Matthew, he's got a decent lead. And from first to third, that's a big jump. Oh, man. Usually it's like a pretty close race till the end, but it feels like first is pretty much not locked up. Like, he's still only, not a massive amount ahead. He's a fair way ahead of like third, but first and second, probably anyone could take it out there. But yeah, it's not too bad at all, honestly. So yeah, if we can just keep, and that's what I was talking about with the vice captain. I have to pretty much nail the vice captain captaincy every week now, and there's some good ones this week for sure. So actually, it's a bit of a tough week. It's a bit of a tough week. I'll look at it quickly because obviously the main guys, Tedesco, Manu, are playing in the first. Well, actually, oh man, I just remembered that the Manly team is going. It's gonna be, the Manly team is going to be quite weak with 7 Manly players ruled out or ruling themselves out. We won't go into that. Well, let's just say it's ridiculous. So, yeah, I think a vice captain on Tedesco or Manu is definitely the way to go there against that Manly team. And then, Storm are playing the Warriors. So, Grant or Munster are solid options. Panthers are taking on the Eels. I mean, Cleary is a good choice, but the Eels... I don't know. The Eels have been so bad, but I can see them coming out and firing up against the Panthers. Surely there's going to be a turnaround. There has to be. So I'm not that keen on the Cleary captaincy. If we go down, you look at the Gold Coast, they're versing Raiders, but unfortunately, I mean, honestly, Joe Tarpany is probably just a pretty safe captaincy option if you're a little bit concerned. The Sharks are taking on the Bunnies. So, I mean, Latrell, probably not. Nico Hines, maybe not as well. Bit of a tough one. And then the other two, like Newcastle v Bulldogs, they sort of cancel each other out. So, it's a bit of a tough week, honestly. I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little worried. But let's go into what I was looking at potentially doing. So first off, well, let's look at the underperformers, right? So Harry Grant, he hasn't been great, but I'm definitely not trading Grant out. But if we trade out McInnes, like who are we looking at getting? So Damien Cook, I mean, he's still 700,000. I mean, he only got 62 points. I mean, God damn, dude. Jerry Marshall King, 108. He's been absolutely killing it. I mean, he's only averaging 62. It's not that impressive. And even Reece Robson, 78. He's averaging 62. Api Coruscant, he got 74. So Coruscant went decently. But he's only averaging 64. Like, that's 12 points less than Grant's averaging. So, I'm not that keen. And then anyone else, I'm definitely not. I mean, Aaron Clark at lock is like absolutely fucking insane. But I just, yeah, the fact that their forward pack is sort of, if they shifted, if they shifted Tino to prop and Aaron Clark just played starting lock, ooh, I'd be half tempted, but nah, I can't do that. And then there's no one else. There's literally no one else. I mean, Connor Watson was really good, but you just wouldn't do it. Ruben Cotter, actually, I'm not gonna lie, Ruben Cotter potentially is the man. He comes back this week. I think he's confirmed to come back. And he has been he's been killing it. But I guess he doesn't really have the upside, His highest score of 89, and then the rest of them are really good, but they're only like 70, 60, 70. Even earlier, he only got like a, 51, 43. There were lower minutes early on in the season, but, there's nothing like that's going to absolutely break you. So, I don't know. I just don't know if it's worth it. And I just don't see myself finding the cash for Cook. And is Cook actually worth it? I don't know. Who are the Rabbitohs taking on at the back end of the season? So they take on Sharks, tough game. Warriors, good game for them. Eels, Panthers, Cowboys, Roosters. Whew, that's a tough one. Yeah. I don't know about Cook. So I'm not that keen on. I think I'm just going to keep McInnes until the end of the year. If I need to use him, I can. He'll get a safe 50 points, and it's not bad. My front rowers are definitely standard. Actually, the one guy, holy shit. I think I can literally trade out Max King and get in. Offengowi's been absolutely on fire. I mean, Tino's been pretty solid as well, honestly. But the man that I can just get in, where is he? He's so cheap now. Oh my god. He's almost the same price as Max King, Payne Haas. I know he got that try, but Payne Haas, if he's fit and firing, I mean, he's still... Papali and Tarpany and Payne Haas, I think, are on pretty much the same level. So I would... Ooh, it would make my team... Like... I sort of don't want to do it because then I would have to make another decision to who to reserve. Like, I would have Tarpany, Papali, Payne Haas. That's too strong. That is too strong. I don't know who I wouldn't reserve. I guess it's nice this week because I won't have to play Olakwatu. I would love to get Payne Haas. I think that's what I might do. He's just a good trade in. He's just a really good trade in. The back row, the back row is still good. I mean, again, mate, like, out of all these guys, you'd probably, maybe Elliott is the guy you would trade. But I don't know, he's such a super pod for me. He's such a super pod. Like, he's only in 3% of teams, and his points... He only got 57 the week before, but before that, 99, 92, 80, 77. Jeez, he was killing it. So I don't know. I think I keep him just because how poddish he is, and if he goes big, then it's points other people don't get. So I think keep him. If we look at trading out like a Tamalolo, which I don't think I'm going to do because he's only 525k anyway, but like. Kikau, not a great week there. Kalamatangi, I'm not really keen on, even though he obviously went well. Cameron Murray is definitely a guy I was potentially wanting to get in, but he I don't know. The Rabbitohs, the Rabbitohs have a tough draw. Let's look at Ryan Madison was also the back row. You were like, he's a keeper, but he's coming back from that rib injury, so only got 51. So I'm not going to race in to get Madison. So the back row is like, yeah, I don't really see myself looking at that. The 5'8", so the halves are set, but the 5'8", Dylan Brown. I think the Eels have a tough run as well, don't they? They take on the Panthers this week, which is not good. Manly next week, which is who knows. South Sydney, a tough game. Bulldogs, potentially pretty tough. Broncos and then Storm. That's pretty tough. That's pretty tough. And then the guy I'm potentially looking at, it's annoying that he went so well, is Matt Burton, obviously. 7% of teams have him. I feel like he's going to probably be in like the most traded teams this week. But Matt Burton, we can't afford him. He's not actually that much more expensive than Dylan Brown, but he's gone on a bit of a run. I mean, he only got 28 against the Sharks. He does have... I mean, he started the season god-awful. He started the season absolutely god-awful. And then, yeah, about this Raiders game, that's where he turned it around. 71, 57, 78, 75, 98, 82, 76, 28 against the Sharks. Stinker. 83, 126. But who does he play? So the Knights, that's a great matchup. The Cowboys, it's a tough matchup. How did he go? I mean, yeah, the first game of the round, they didn't do well. Well, they actually won that game, funnily enough, but it wasn't a good game. The Warriors, they haven't played the Warriors this year? What the heck? Fuck, the draw is so weird, honestly. The Warriors is a good matchup. Parramatta, I mean, he got 82 against. It's not a bad matchup. The Sharks is where he went bad. And then Manly is not a bad matchup. So I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one. It does feel a bit sideways, but I don't know. I mean, Burton is in good form. And he's got the goal kicking. The Bulldogs are actually attacking and scoring tries. And all their attack goes through Burton. I mean, Flanagan I still think is absolute dog shit and doesn't really contribute at all. So everything that good happens goes through Burton. So if the Dogs are going to continue to play decent footy, it's going to be on the back of Burton. So I don't hate the trade, and it is a pod move. I feel like a lot of people are going to get him in potentially this week, but like I said, it is annoying that he went so big because you just know a lot of people are going to jump on because of that, but it is what it is. And then, like I said, the fullbacks are set, obviously. And the centre wing, I mean, I wouldn't have minded getting rid of Tass, but it is what it is. I mean, I could enough Tass. I've got 5 genuine gun centre wing. And then if fucking Grant Anderson's going to continue playing, I sort of need enough in the centre wing, probably. So we could enough out Taz. He's made decent cash since we got him. He's done all right. But if we get Sevo out, there's some options. I mean, the guy I would like to get is Val Holmes. But unfortunately, I'm not that far off. But 665, he's going to be hard to bring in now. I mean, the Cowboys, you would have expected him to go well against the Tigers. So it's not that ridiculous. Then they take on the Dragons, which you don't really know how the Dragons are going to play. Bulldogs, not an easy game. Roosters, Warriors, good game. And then Rabbitohs, Panthers. So it's not that easy a run for the Cows. Who else have we got? I mean, Johnston, fucking Johnston, just keeps scoring tries. I mean, every year, I don't go Johnston. I feel like he can't keep going bang, 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 getting hat-tricks after hat-tricks, but he just keeps doing it. Tango, obviously we're not bringing back in, but he's going well. Zach Lomax is still banging out 60s every week. Nick Meaney, no. I mean, he went pretty well at fullback. I mean, honestly, Meaney, I don't know, mate. Meaney in the centre wing has some appeal because he's obviously going to retain that fullback spot. He got 71 points in a pretty shocking display. They take on the Warriors, which is it's just such a juicy matchup. and surely there's some points. They take on, oh man, the Warriors and then the Titans. Oh, he could be such a... And that's the thing with getting in a Nick Meaney this week, is that I can play him against Warriors and Gold Coast and then just sit him for the Panthers. And then maybe the Broncos, I don't know. Roosters, Parramatta, bit of a tough run, but those 2 weeks could be massive. He could go massive in those weeks, and it would be a big pod. Although, I mean, Sivo is a pod as well, but I'm not going to play him this week against the Panthers. I'm definitely not. And then no one else I'm that keen on. So, I mean, I was going to look at where is Dewey? How did he go? He was the other guy I was potentially looking at. Jesse Ramian sort of came back down to earth. Brian Toto as well. I still don't really know why so many people jumped on Toto. I mean, he could be a great one for the run home, but I don't know. I was a little bit surprised when so many people sort of jumped on him. Edric Lee has been killing it. Our boy Nick Meaney there. Where is he? Yeah, Dwayne there. He got 51 points. He didn't have a great game, honestly. He didn't really look like he did too much, but yeah, 51 against the Cows. It's not bad. Then he's got the Broncos, Newcastle, Sharks, Roosters, Dragons, Raiders. It's a bit, yeah, it's all over the shop. I don't know. I feel like I like the Meaney pickup rather than Dewey. And then, yeah, no one else really tickles my fancy. But I honestly, how did Mulatalo go? 28. Oh, Jesus Christ. He has dropped some cash. Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, there's a couple of potential pod plays. Burden, I love. And then I'm really leaning towards the Nick Meaney pickup because he's such a good play this week and he's such a good play next week against the Titans. Like, it's such a good matchup. And then I just don't have to play him. Like, I've got plenty of center wing options because this week, at the moment, we'll shift Marnie straight in. And then, I've got plenty of reserves that I can play, but Nick Meaney is a good pickup. And even like Garrick against the Roosters with all their players out, it's not a great game for him. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'll do another video later in the week to sort of finalize and maybe talk a bit more about some other guys that could be decent pods. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the Supercoach action. We're making our way up the ladder again. Make sure to like and comment if you're enjoying, and I'll see you in the next one.